I got a pretty good hunch that most of the people that move to Florida want a house that's somewhere near the beach, not necessarily right on the sand, but within like maybe a 10 to 15 minute drive. And that's exactly the type of properties we're going to be looking at in today's video. I have about 10 or 11 homes here on the Gulf Coast of Florida that I want to show you guys that I found under 300,000. And the last time I did this video, the price point was under 200,000, and I was actually able to find some good deals back then in that price range. However, I'm sad to report that those days are basically over, and the new bar to find a home like this is basically $300,000 or less. So just for anybody out there looking for a property like this, just know that needs to be pretty much your budget, if not even more, to find something nicer or larger than the homes you're about to look at. And let's check them out. All right, so just so everybody knows, we are going to be starting up in the Florida Panhandle. We're going to be working our way south down the coast. So the very first home we're looking at here is in Navarre, Florida, right at the $300,000 price point. 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,469 square feet. And this house is pretty nice, actually. You know, it's kind of one of those cheaper remodels. You can tell they don't have the granite countertops in the kitchen, but, you know, they opted for the stainless steel appliances. It's got cheaper floors, you know, the vinyl flooring and the carpet, but at least it's clean and bright and fresh paint, and, you know, it just seems like a nice listing overall. I think this is a great, you know, place for somebody to come if you want to live really close to the beach, because this house is less than a 10-minute drive away from the beach right there. If it's very close, I'll show you on the map in just a minute. But just looking at the pictures of this home, I'm surprised it hasn't sold yet. I think probably it's the price, because, you know, generally a year ago, guys, when I made the last version of this video, houses in this area were selling for the $185,000 range, and now this house is 300 grand. It also has a very nice sized backyard, so that is a plus for anybody who wants the space. So overall, it doesn't seem like a bad listing. 2-car garage, and just to show you where this is on the map real quick, check this out. When you look here, you can see just how close to the beach it really is. Zoom out a bit. So you have the whole beach right here. You literally drive down this road right here, boom, you're at the beach. Probably less than a 10-minute drive, $300,000. Next up, still in the Panhandle, just a little bit down the road, is a home in Esther, Florida. A little bit cheaper, $292,000, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,386 square feet. And let's take a look. This one looks like it probably has a much smaller yard, but the house does appear to be a little bit newer than the other one. And there's not as much carpet in this home, it seems like. You got tile floors, so that's a little bit better in my opinion. A little bit nicer kitchen. You know, you have some granite or quartz countertops in there. A little bit more modern looking. You can tell people live in this house right now, you know, and they did some remodeling at some point. But overall, I think this house is pretty nice. You know, you don't get that big backyard like you did before, but once again, you are close to the beach, and that's exactly what we're looking for in these type of homes. Now, real quick, guys, before we go any further, just so you know, my goal is to keep you watching this video for as long as possible, because that's how the YouTube algorithm knows whether or not you're enjoying this video. So if at any point you get bored, tell me in the comments below what I'm doing wrong so I can fix it for future videos, get the retention up on these videos, and make sure that they get shared with more and more people. And if you don't mind hitting the like button while you're at it, I appreciate it. Okay, so the next one I found is in Panama City Beach, Florida, and I was actually surprised to see anything at this price point there. However, once you start looking at this home, you'll quickly realize why it's so cheap. First of all, it's more of a cottage than a house, even according to the listing, that's what they call it. And it's $269,000, only 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom, so that's not very convenient, and it's pretty small, 908 square feet. So if that didn't already kind of undersell you on the property, the condition of it might, because even though the outside is nice and cute, the inside is very retro. So, you know, it's not terrible. It's not like, you know, the place is super dirty or, you know, basically a dump. It's just old. You know, that's the problem with this house. If you actually like this retro look and you wouldn't mind taking possession of this house exactly the way it looks right now and enjoying it like that, I think that might be cool for a little while to just enjoy the nostalgia of this home and then renovate it at some point, because as long as it's clean, that's really the main thing. I'd be worried about that carpet a little bit, But for an old house like this, I'm surprised at just how nice it actually looks. You know, it really does look like they've maintained it pretty well over the years. You know, they got a new deck there, you can tell. They've done what they needed to do to maintain this property. It even has a decent sized yard, backyard and a front yard. You know, you have a large carport. It's literally like right across the street from the beach as well. So if you're looking at like prime location, this house, this little cottage is definitely where it's at. I don't know what this is, if it's a shed. It looks like maybe a shed, but oh, there we go, laundry room. The next one is in Apalachicola. I don't know. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. I'm sure somebody is going to correct me in the comments like you usually do. But this one is also very close to the beach, and it's close to one of my subscribers' favorite spots in Florida. Henry, if you're out there listening to this, I know you love St. George Island, and that's really close to this beach, this home right here. So let's take a look at it. 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,225 square feet. It's not a bad size for only a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, really. $279,000. Let's take a look. I just like the actual color of this house. It really jives with Florida, you know. And then look, you can see right across the street there is actually the bay, and then of course you got to drive to the beach a little bit, but just being able to see the water from your front yard like that's pretty cool. They have this interesting little sunroom. It reminds me a lot of like the houses in Key West, looking at the inside of this house. So it has that Key West vibe going on. Kitchen's a little bit outdated, but it is open and functional. I like that. Ceiling fans, hardwood floors. Even though this bathroom is retro, it does have a nice, really cool charm to it as well. I do like those hardwood floors for sure. And having this little patio outdoor sunroom thing, whatever you want to call this, is nice too, to just sit out there and sip some wine later in the evening. You got the laundry out there too. Decent sized yard as well. Looks like they got a shed in the back, and of course a water view. Now we're basically skipping a large part of Florida here, guys. We're going all the way from this area near St. George Island all the way down to Dunedin, Florida. And yeah, look, I said it right this time. For everybody who commented on my Dunedin video that I said it wrong, there you go. Anyhow, we're skipping that big chunk of Florida that I'm showing you right here because there's really no beaches in that area. Yes, you do have the Gulf there, but there's really no beaches, and that's kind of the focus of this video. We want to be a driving distance to a beach, not just a lagoon. So that's why we're skipping that area. But just so you know, there are a lot of homes for sale in this area, as you can see, but they're just not that close to an actual beach. So I was actually surprised to find a home in Dunedin for this price point. $255, 2-bed, 2-bath, but you can see it's kind of on the small side, only 1,000 square feet. Does have a garage though, so that's nice. But I think that this house is in an HOA community. We'll check that in just a minute. And the house looks like it probably had a little bit of update at some point. You know, they did the floors. Still got those old popcorn ceilings though, so you can tell it's old. They did a kitchen remodel at some point as well. So the kitchen looks nice. Nice big window in there, sliding glass door. And the bedrooms do appear to be kind of on the small side. But hey, they did the bathrooms as well, so that's important. It looks like they did just enough in this house to make it somewhat modern. You can tell they did the vanities and added like this nice mirror and paint, but the showers and the toilets are probably original. The garage has the laundry in it. Definitely, they use it as like some kind of storage / workshop area. I do like these patios that a lot of these homes have like this. It's really nice for relaxing and enjoying your Florida home, especially on the cooler nights. These like shades right here actually function as hurricane shutters too. I wanted to point that out because that's a really cool feature a lot of these old houses have that they don't see anymore. So it's nice because they're up like this most of the time. They provide shade when it's hot out. And then they just collapse down and you lock them down if there's a hurricane. So that's pretty neat. Although I see not all the windows have that, but it is a kind of a cool thing from the past that they used to do. Yeah, it's definitely an HOA. This is like the clubhouse and like the common area grounds here. So you got laundry area there and all this stuff. So let's just take a look real quick to see what the HOA fees would be here so you can know what to expect essentially. So the payment on this house would be $1,609 a month, and $343 of that goes to your HOA fee. So if you want somewhere in Dunedin, it's in an HOA, you got the pool and some extra little amenities there, this could be a good option for you. And not far from the beach. Next up is Clearwater, Florida. One of my favorite areas in Florida, really. I would even consider moving there, guys. I love Clearwater. I just love this area in general. So it was really nice to find a home there that's pretty nice in this price point as well. $279,900, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 940 square feet. I do believe it's in an HOA as well, though. Yeah, $435 a month. I do remember looking at this one earlier. Let's take a look at the pictures. And as you might have noticed, a lot of these homes are getting smaller. This is more like a townhouse type of deal, but it's still basically a house. At least you have your own freestanding property here like this, and maybe you have one wall that connects to a next door neighbor, but that's about it. Not a big deal. At least you're not living, on top of someone and have a neighbor on top of you and everything like that. They've done some renovations here over the years. Kitchen's not bad. They did some flooring, bathrooms. Yeah, they did a nice job maintaining it and keeping it up with the times over the years here. Definitely not a bad spot. I love this little backyard and patio there. You got the little lake there. Maybe even run into some gators once in a while. I know a lot of people are scared of them, but they're actually really docile animals, and they're something very beautiful to admire here down in Florida instead of be afraid of them. But definitely you don't want to go up and try to pet one, because I'm pretty much guessing you're going to find some in these waters right here. Don't try to pet one, but admire them from a distance. The yard in this place I just think is pretty nice. The yard is very cool. And, living in a place like this, the advantages, guys, is basically that, it's probably gated. There's a little bit of security. You have some amenities. You're close to your neighbors if you want to get to know people. A lot of the maintenance is done for you, like the yard and taking care of this pool and stuff like that. So it's pretty convenient. If you're not home a lot and you just want to come home and kind of enjoy yourself after work, living in a place like this would probably be not a bad deal. Or maybe even for retirees, they got shuffleboard. As soon as I see that, I think of retirement. This next one is in Palmetto, Florida, which is kind of close to the Clearwater area. It's a little bit further south, I believe, of there. Yeah, it's getting down closer to Bradenton. So this one is $269,900, 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. That's kind of something that I really don't like in a house. The 1-bathroom thing is kind of a deal breaker for me, but if you have a little bit extra cash to add an extra bathroom if possible, maybe getting something like this wouldn't be a bad idea. But I'm pretty sure this house does not have an HOA fee, so that's good. Keeps your monthly costs really low. And as you can see, guys, $1,351 a month. That's not a bad deal for having a nice house in a nice area, especially right now with how crazy the prices are in Florida, plus being close to the beach. I think that's still a tremendous value, and that is with a 20% down payment. The interior of this house, first impression, it's not so bad. Definitely not my favorite one on the list, but you can tell it's definitely like an artsy house. Whoever owns it right now probably is an artsy type of person. And I don't love these tiles and things like that on the kitchen countertop. I actually really hate that. I would definitely change that. Kind of looks like the floors to me. But again, you're buying this house for the location. It definitely needs a little bit more work than some of the houses we've seen so far, especially the laundry room here. They have like an art studio there as well. I guess that's what they're calling this, which would be a good opportunity. Like, I would be interested in buying this house and turning this into a little Airbnb rental. That's what I would do. I would take that space, turn it into a nice rental. They have this cool outdoor shower here. So I guess whoever lives here is interested in being in the buff outside. It's nice. They have a hot tub, a screened-in hot tub on top of that, so you can enjoy your hot tub without the bugs. That's nice. The yard is actually pretty decent size, and there's that art studio. It's nice that it's kind of separate from the house, so it could function as kind of whatever you want it to be. So that is pretty nice. So this house needs some help, but the location is good, and the fact that it has that little extra building in the back is a plus in my book. All right, we're moving down to Venice, Florida, where my grandfather lives. And this house is 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 883 square feet. That seems extremely small, But I don't know how they get this size, guys. There has been times here in Miami when I've seen houses that say it's one size, but it's actually bigger and the tax roll is not correct. So Zillow's pulling all this information from the listing source, and the listing source gets this from the tax roll of the county, and sometimes they're wrong. And I feel like in a house like this is exactly a situation where it's wrong. Because just by looking at the outside of the house, it looks well over 900 square feet. It doesn't look that small. And just from looking at the kitchen and the living room here, I just don't see how this house is only 900 square feet. Maybe you actually have to be there to figure it. You know, you do kind of see the kitchen and the living room together here. But at least it's more on the modern side. And they should have opened those curtains up to take these pictures. But yeah, you can tell the bedrooms are pretty small. It is nice they did some upgrades in here though. The laundry room actually is pretty decent size, doesn't seem too cramped. You do have a one-car garage as well. Plus this little Florida room, this little patio, I think that's great. You know, even if it is a small house, usually this outdoor area is not included in the square footage. So that's extra space for you right there. As you can see, they use it as a hangout and a little barbecue area. I would do exactly the same. The yard is not that big, but I wouldn't expect it to be on such a small house like this. Next, we're looking at another home in the Venice area. This is in Englewood, Florida, so not too far from the last one, but it is noticeably bigger for around the same price point. So that is a big appeal to this home, if you ask me. 2-bed, 2-bath, almost 1,300 square feet for $275. Also has a garage, and this house is pretty modern. There's not too many pictures, but this was definitely one of my more favorite ones from this list. Not much to look at here again, but I do love how close this property is to the beach. And I'm not sure if they have an HOA fee here. Let's look real quick. No, they do not. And no HOA, which is an even better selling point if you ask me. Next up is Fort Myers, Florida. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,439 square feet. Not a bad size house. This one is also very modern looking. Another one of my favorite listings from this list here. This house is just beautiful if you ask me. They did it all pretty nice, and it's just ready for the next person to move in. It looks like you really don't have to do anything to this home besides just move your furniture in and you are good to go. And as somebody who's going through like a little bit of a project right now, getting my new place ready to move into, I can just admire the simplicity of that for sure. There we go. Decent sized yard. Not a bad deal. I like this one in Fort Myers, guys. So there you got 10 houses that I found on Florida's Gulf Coast, all under $300,000, all in pretty decent shape too, if you ask me, and they're all available for sale right now. I know that they won't always be available for sale forever. By the time you see this video, there's a good chance that a lot of them could be gone, but the point is that there are deals out there like this, and if you ever do want to find a house down here in Florida, I do have a form in my description that you can use, and I can try to help set you up with a good agent down here in Florida. So feel free to use that. It's a free service to you and it helps out the channel. And if you're curious to see how much prices have changed in Florida over the past year, check out this video I did pretty much exactly 1 year ago about if you can afford a house in Florida right over here, because it's pretty surprising to see how much prices have gone up from then until now. And I'll see you guys over there.